All right, so welcome to the Kundalini Yoga and Breathwork. Today's class is a repeat topic because every month when I teach this class, I find there's different themes that come up for me. And one of those themes this month was anger and, just like sacred rage. And it's been in the collective this week. There was a mass shooting just yesterday. Over 20 people have died because one person got really, 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 really angry. Undoubtedly, no support, undoubtedly, no tools in his tool belt. And myself, I was angry for almost 72 hours straight. And I used to suppress anger because I thought that that was what you're supposed to do. And what happened when I suppressed anger many, many decades, I actually developed a Hashimoto's, autoimmune disease in my throat, didn't speak up, didn't want to be seen or heard, right, as a little girl, and that carried into my adult life. And that's how I manifested that disease. It's a combination of many things, but you get the idea. I believe any dis-ease is a trauma, spiritual root cause of something that is a karmic lesson that we're supposed to learn. But then after that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to live a symptom-free life. Well, guess what? I never got to the root cause of that autoimmune disease, which part of it was not speaking my truth. A lot of stress destroyed my gut brain, destroyed my microbiome in my gut, lots of candida, lots of sugar addiction, lots of numbing on top of numbing on top of numbing. And so then there was a lot of sadness and depression. And what they say is under sadness and depression is anger. And so I was pretty sad and pretty depressed and pretty numb for a lot of reasons. And finally, during this healing journey, I understood that anger is powerful. Anger is actually a good thing. Anger is coming back in the form of the divine feminine rising right now. So in a lot of ways, we are rebalancing our planet right now. And as a part of that, guess what? Mother Earth's getting angry. The divine feminine is also can exhibit anger. So I'm not surprised at all that I drew the card Kali Ma. So Kali from the divine feminine deck says, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. And at the time of this recording, we're almost to the full moon, the lunar eclipse. Full moon is about what? Releasing and letting that shit go, literally and figuratively, right? So I'll read to you, and then we'll get into the exercise. And I'm hoping that it works, crossing my fingers. I have a little, if we don't run out of time, I have a little singing bowls that I'm going to play for you guys, okay? So Kali Ma, the mother of the universe. If you don't know Kali, she's considered a Hindu goddess. And I'm going to read to you. She's definitely someone I've been calling on all week to help me cleanse and clear and burn away that which no longer serves. She's my favorite for that. Kali embodies the ultimate wake-up call to get us aligned as soon as possible with what we have come here to do. This Hindu goddess is the most fierce form of the dark, divine feminine. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, that's partially where they got this phrase. She is that which brings all things to life or to an end. Her name comes from the Sanskrit word meaning the fullness of time. Kali is first mentioned in the 6th century Devi Mahatmyam. When the goddess Durga is threatened by 2 demons, Kali emerges from the rage furrowed in Durga's forehead and slays all the demons with ease, right? This is why she's often pictured holding the severed head of a demon, which represents the ego or false beliefs and illusions. She appears wrathful, and yet she is considered to be the most loving. She's like a mother desperate to grab her beloved child from out of harm's way, willing to yank them from that path that they were on in order to bestow freedom. So if you notice a theme here, She helps with endings, right? People are ending relationships. People are ending careers. People are moving. People are ending their lives. I mean, the suicide rate is high. It's getting higher. You know, they predict that this year is going to be first year where there's like a population decline, right? More people dying than being born. Her iconography often depicts her as standing on the naked body of the Hindu god Shiva. He is her consort, and together they represent the power available to us when we've honored both the masculine and feminine within us. And Kali is the feminine that's called on when the masculine has gone out of balance, and that's within us and in the world. So think of how the patriarchy has totally screwed up the balance of Mother Earth, right? Not only Mother Earth, I think the galaxy. She is the divine protectress and the mother of the universe because she can cut through illusion and grant us the reality our soul came to manifest. So if you're angry about something, it's a sign trying to get your attention. Something's not right or as it needs to be for your ultimate and highest, greatest good. So when your soul selects her card, Kali is as subtle as a sledgehammer. She shows up to strip us of what no longer serves us. And that sounds good in theory, but in practice, it can feel as if the ground beneath us has turned to sand. All of those illusions about ourselves, especially what we think we're capable of, suddenly dissolve beneath us. When Kali sweeps in, we can easily slip into feeling like a victim. It can feel as though events are happening to us rather than for us. Kali doesn't want us to waste another precious second being someone we are not. She doesn't want us to be with a partner who doesn't treat us with the respect and love we need to do the light work we've come here to do. Kali wants us to sever the ties our ego has made out of fear or out of a false belief that we don't deserve better or more. Gosh, I feel like I said that yesterday. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? She wants us to get terrifyingly real. Yeah, Kali wants you to have pain. She wants you to have pain. Because when we have pain, usually we get so tired of it, we move, we do something different, right? She wants us to reckon with the fact that we are not here to please others or make them proud, right, Mom and Dad? We are here to listen to the singular call of our own soul. So anger is good when you look at it from the perspective of what this message is saying. Kali is the harbinger of having entered Kairos, or soul time, and stripping the ego to reveal the soul can feel raw and often heartbreaking. I think everyone can resonate with that. But ultimately, Kali has come out of fierce love for the truth of who we really are. She is giving us the opportunity to choose again, to start over, and this time from a place of tremendous wisdom and strength. Our vulnerability. That's what she's saying is our greatest source of ultimate strength, which is vulnerability, which for me is raw, real honesty with yourself and others, crying, even sometimes getting really upset. She lets us begin again from the bare bones truth of who we are. So the question of the day for you to ponder, maybe write this down if you are able. What is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves me? What is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves me? And the intention that goes with that is I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Beautiful. Excellent. So if you can, whatever you said, if you want to write it down, again, after what is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves me, write it down. And that can be a part of your prayer, your intention, your affirmation, your mantra, and looking at it from a place of, this doesn't serve me, so I love myself enough to let it go. And guess what? The best thing about letting things go, if they come back even better than before, oh my gosh, you couldn't have had that if you didn't let it go in the first place, right? So that is the wisdom from Kali Ma today. So what I invite you to do is just to keep this recording going and keep going. That is, yeah, if you're crying tears, I'm reading the chat right now. If you're crying tears, that means something. That means the part of you that's deep down in your soul knows that it's time, right? It's just tears and release is such a great somatic release and just such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. Is they crying releases endorphins. And actually you think that's another thing I shut down a lot is crying because I was so numb and oh my gosh, that was not good for my health. Crying tears and release is an endorphin release and helps with the neurotransmitter, the happy thoughts, the happy, neurotransmitters that impact the head brain, it's all connected. So, yep. I've had days where I've probably cried I felt like oceans, if not millions of tears. So that's beautiful. I acknowledge that as a beautiful gift. And I would encourage you, if it calls to you, is to honor that and that vulnerability that we just talked about. It's very healing. It's very transformative. So let's go ahead, if you are able, lighting some incense if you're watching this on the replay. And I have my candle lit. And since this is an anger release class, let's just go ahead and tune in for a second with your eyes closed, if you are able to close your eyes. Honoring the stillness, the silence. And just set an intention. We're only going to actually do about 10 minutes. 10 minutes of release work. That's all it takes. 10 minutes. My intention in teaching this class is to help you shift some of that anger, some of that stuck energy that's in your body that may be blocking your chakras, that may be blocking your chi, your prana, your life force energy flow. And using the element of fire, Jema Kali, burning it all away, transmuting it, transforming it like the phoenix rising from the ashes. I'm going to give you a few moments of silence. You don't have to type it in the chat. Just speak out loud. What is your intention for this anger release class? Beautiful. All right, this is a reminder. The nice thing about today's class, since it's only 10 minutes, you don't have to have ever done Kundalini yoga before, okay? We're just going to be doing 2 exercises. We are going to be doing the traditional tune-in, which is Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. I will type it in the chat so you have it. And I'll tell you what that means. And I will show you the exercises as we go. They're super doable. You just got to make sure, I'm making sure I'm not too close to the table behind me, our altar. I don't want to hit it. So also make sure that there's, an arm's length around you in all directions. You're going to be seated. You can be seated in a chair. Totally okay. Your feet could be flat on the floor. Totally okay. I'm in what we call traditional lotus or easy pose. So we'll tune in to the mantra Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. So what that means is I bow to the teacher, the divine teacher within. So it's not some silly, weird mantra. It's just basically saying, I honor myself. I acknowledge and give gratitude for myself for showing up to this class, just as an example. Okay. There's also a great song with the same title, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So what we do first to get that, right and left brain hemisphere connected, we tune in and rub our hands together. So go ahead and rub your hands. Rub, 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 rub. This is generating life force, prana, chi, whatever you call it. That's inside of us. That's part of our whole body, mind, spirit, psyche. And go ahead and just take your hands apart for a few seconds and feel that energy between your hands. Feel it. So beautiful, so strong. And then go ahead putting your hands in prayer, which you don't need to be a religious person. This is about activating the hemispheres of your brain, putting your hands together. Anytime you feel like you want to balance your brain, you could put your hands in this position. And if the word prayer offends you like it used to offend me for over a decade, then just say I'm putting my hands together. So go ahead, inhale through the nose deeply. Go ahead, inhale. And exhale. We're going to do the tune in, Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. And you can just listen. You don't even have to say it with me. Just listen to me as I chant it, or jump in whenever you feel called. So go ahead. Inhale through the nose on the tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Om Gurudev Namo. Last time, inhale. Om Gurudev Namo. Saying that mantra, that chant starts to bring you into stillness, into that God spark within. Now what we're going to do, and this is where you want to make sure you aren't going to hit anything, so I'll trust that you'll be safe. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your thumb to your pad of your pinky. So look at my hands right now. Thumb to pad of pinky. And they call this, the thumb is the ego. So we want to quiet that ego and just let it go, let it rip. And what you're going to do is you're going to breathe O-shaped mouth, almost like Lamaze, right? And you're going to feel your belly button. Probably can't really see, but my belly button is moving in and out. It's called the breath of fire. For those of you who are Aries, because I know we have one on the live right now, this is no doubt for you. This is all about fire, getting it out. I'm a Pitta. My constitution is Pitta. Shanna, I'm guessing you're Pitta as well. We're very fiery. And so that can also cause anger from within. So we want to release that fire from within through our breath and then through this movement. You're going to be going back. For 2 minutes. I'm going to set the timer. I'm going to join in. 2 minutes. You got to start now and go ahead and begin 2 minutes. So again, pinky finger. Keep going. I'm going to talk you through this a little bit. I'll jump back in, but the idea is as you're doing this, that you want to think about whatever it is that frustrates you, that person, that place, that thing, that behavior, that negative self-talk, that low self-worth, whatever that negative thing is that's bringing this fire, or that person, or that argument, or that, late bill, whatever. Just really let that come into your consciousness and expand, and just keep going. Really get into it. Keep going as fast as you can or as slow as you need to for your own safety. Don't ever do anything if it hurts. It's not meant to hurt. It's just meant to cleanse and clear. Keep going, keep going. 40 seconds left. Then we have one more exercise after that. This is, you can see this is so much better than having an argument or being whatever actions that you take out the anger out on. This is transmuting that chi, that negative fire that's in there. And again, anger isn't a bad thing. It's just how we choose to use it is how it can become dangerous. Like the mass shooter obviously was angry and that's how he did his thing. All right, so now we're going on to the next one. Wisdom seal. Putting your thumb and your Jupiter finger together. That's called the wisdom seal, and hands facing up. You're going to roll your tongue. Look at my screen. And you're going to inhale through the rolled tongue. Go ahead, inhale. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale through the nose. Now, if you're having problems with rolling your tongue, some people can't do it. Just inhale through your teeth like this. Exhale through the nose. If you can do the rolled tongue, continue with that. Inhale. And continue at your own pace, again, using the teeth, the gritted teeth, if you can't roll the tongue. The beauty of this one is you can do this in the car while you're driving. If someone just pissed you off to no end, bring that out. It's easy to do while driving because it balances out the liver and the spleen. Those are the two organs that really get impacted when we're angry. Continue to go. You get 10 more seconds. So I do one more round of inhaling through the tongue. And exhaling finally through the nose one last time. And now I'm going to ask you, and Shanna, my hope is that you can hear this so you can be my feedback. I'm going to do just a few minutes to close out with singing bowls. So you can close your eyes, lie down if that's possible. This will be very short. Thank you. I'm going to try one more thing. Now tell me if you can hear the bowls. If you'd like, you can close your hands in prayer. We close with Sat Nam. Just honoring you for being here today, honoring you for being you, walking this earth at this time. Even though it may not seem like it, it is a very, very exciting time and a deep honor. Namaste.